All right, we're about to get started. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Just please make yourself comfortable. There's a lot of people in here I know that don't practice yoga. We're going to try to keep it as simple as possible. It's a 30-minute wind-down yoga sequence, so just some very little active movement, just a little in the beginning, then some deep stretching after that, and nice old Savasana, so it doesn't sound too bad, right? All right, we've got to get started here. Just make your way to a comfortable seat. All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to your practice. Whether you're here in person or joining online, thank you so much for taking this time for yourself, just to move and breathe in your body, and just to hopefully feel better than when you came in. And so just remember, these are just some guides I'm going to give tonight. It's some of my bedtime routine, but feel free to take any shape if something's not working for you. This is Tyler and Annie I have next to me. They are the co-owners of this studio and another studio nearby, so really want to thank them for letting me use this space. And we also have one of my two close friends, Island of Black and White. They're a very popular band. I love watching them play, and they're going to be doing a little live music for us during the class. So thanks so much for them for being here, and let's get started. So go ahead and come to a tall seat. You can have your legs crossed, or you can sit up on a block if that feels better to elevate your hips. And as you arrive into your seat, just allow yourself to sit tall. So root your tailbone down, and then just gently let your eyes rest down. And see if you can just focus on deep inhales and exhales out of the nose. And nowadays, in a world filled with so much confusion, so many ways that our minds are being pulled in different directions, it can be hard to know what's real, what makes you feel alive, what's true. And so what I love about this practice is it provides some uninterrupted time where you can just be in your body, be in your mind, and come back to where you know it's real, what brings you to life. And for me, that's always been not just the practice, but family, friends, and community. So take this moment here to reflect on something that resonates with you, and maybe draw into that during your practice tonight. A few rounds of deep breath. And as you gently open your eyes, we're going to start by reaching both arms overhead. So just feel long through both arms as you continue to root the tailbone down. Feel the extension of your fingertips as you spread them apart. And just root the shoulder blades down together so you feel a strong reach overhead. And from here, slowly bring your hands through heart center. Inhale to reach your arms up. Exhale, pull through the center. Inhale to reach. Exhale, center. One more time, big inhale, reach up. And let it out as you bring your hands down. We're going to begin in child's pose this evening. So take your knees wide, your feet together. Always feel free to take a look up here if you're not sure how to get into a pose. But allow your hips to sit back toward your heels. If your hips are way elevated in space, you can always slide something underneath your glutes. If you happen to have a block with you, or just something at home like a blanket, something to slide underneath. You want this pose to feel supportive, a great place to rest. So make sure you adjust accordingly. You can always play with the width of your knees and your feet. But as you settle in, just bring some light activation through your fingertips. Feel the energy draw up through your arms. And just start to take some nice deep breaths here. notice how you feel in this position. Know you always have this, even if you're not in a studio. It's a great place to center in. Nice reset to the central nervous system. A few more deep breaths. And keeping your hips where they are, just start to walk your hands over to the right. It's going to create a lateral bend in your spine. And while you do so, see if you can keep your hips grounded, especially your left hip. That may tend to lift up. See if you can bring a grounded quality through your hips. And really focusing on the side body, the left side of the rib cage. Let your hips get heavy, keeping a little activation through the fingertips. And then nice and slowly begin to walk your hands through center and over to the other side. Slowly opening the right side of the body, the right rib cage. And again, checking in with the hips, seeing if you can allow them to root down toward the mat. If your mind starts to drift off, see if you can come back to your breath, come back to your intention, what brings you to practice. And then start to walk your hands through center. Come up onto hands and knees, tabletop pose. Just stack your shoulders over your wrists, spread through your fingertips. It could feel nice to tuck the back toes under. Just see how secure you can make this position feel, rooting into your fingertips, pressing the feet down. And then from here, we're going to lift our hips up and back to downward facing dog. So use this time to pedal through your feet, to press into your hands. You can play with the width of your hands and feet. If you notice when an animal does this, it's a relieving pose. It's supposed to feel good. So make some modifications if it's not feeling right. And then try to settle into some stillness. And from here, apply some pressure through the thumb. See if you can send your hips back. Let your heels get heavy. Maybe turn your neck left to right, up and down, releasing some tension. Just a few more deep breaths in your down dog. Keep the activation through your hands. Feel the energy send back. And then take your gaze forward and just slowly walk to the top of the mat. Arrive into a forward fold. First forward fold, just keep a slight bend in your knees. Try not to force your way down. Just use gravity to help release through the back of your legs, release through your spine. Maybe turn your neck again, left and right. To see if you can find some appreciation in letting your head be below your heart. From here, we're going to bring our hands to our shins, setting up a halfway lift. So here we're trying to lengthen our spine long. Send your tailbone back behind you. And use your hands as they press into your shins to kind of pull your heart slightly forward. Try to lengthen the back of your neck as you press the tailbone behind you. From here, take a deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold, release it out. Stand tall, reach your arms high as you breathe in. Arms by your side, mountain pose, breathe out. Let your eyes rest down in mountain pose and just feel into the shape. See if you can draw your shoulder blades back and down. Spread through your toes as you press them into the mat. Feeling tall from the heels through the crown of your head. A few breaths just to get grounded in the pose. And from here, you're going to inhale to reach your arms up. And exhale to a forward fold, let it out. Halfway lift to breathe in. And forward fold to release. Stand tall, reach high, inhale. Arms by your side, exhale. Reach up, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Stand tall as you reach, breathe in. Mountain pose, breathe out. Once more, inhale, reach high. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift to breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Stand all the way up as you breathe in. Mountain pose, breathe out. Feel into your mountain pose once more. Keep the firm quality of your feet pressing into the mat. Really spread the toes. Again, inhale to reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Plant your hands, step to downward facing dog as you breathe out. And from down dog, lift your right leg as you breathe in. And step between your hands as you breathe out. Lower your back knee down. And then start to reach your arms up, setting up a low lunge position. And from your low lunge, see if you can hug the ribs in. Feel your abs engage and see how that affects the front of your left hip. And as you pull the ribs in, extend your arms up, but pull the tailbone down, feeling long from tailbone through fingertips. Breathe into where you're feeling sensation. Try to keep your arms active here as they reach up. Maybe draw your thumbs slightly back. Couple more deep breaths here. Keep spreading through the fingertips. Keep reaching with your arms. Take one more big breath in. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Let yourself reset in your down dog. Lengthen through your legs, press through your hands. And from your down dog, lift your left leg as you breathe in. Step forward as you breathe out, setting up low lunge, lower the back knee down. Take your time in rising up. Just feeling into this shape, feeling through the hips, rooting down as you extend up. Try not to worry about how this pose looks. Just think more about how you feel. Can you root down while extending? Can you hug the ribs in as you lift your heart slightly up? Couple more deep breaths. Keep the long inhales and exhales as you feel into the pose. Take a big breath in, expand. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Few more deep breaths in your down dog. Notice how the pose can change after you flow through it a few times. Just always try to repeat and refine it in a way that feels good in your body. Now bring your shoulders over wrists, high plank pose. Press your feet down, press your hands down, hug the lower abs in, feel strong through your spine. And as slowly as you can, lower all the way down to your stomach. Maybe let one ear rest on the mat, just feel the mat beneath you. Let your spine be long. And then from your stomach, we're gonna set up Sphinx pose, which is a back bend. So come onto your forearms. Hands pressed down towards the mat. And see if you can press your toes down into the mat as well. Feeling activation through your legs, gently press your hands down and try to pull your heart forward and up. If at any point this is too much, you can always lower down, even if you place your hands on your head on your hands. It's still a back bend. So just take this as deep as you'd like, really focusing on extending the heart forward and up instead of crunching through the lower spine. Try to be expansive here. A few deep breaths, feeling into the back bend, trying to keep a grounded quality through your back feet. Take a big breath in. Slowly lower down, opposite ear on the mat. Release through your spine. To see what you notice in between your poses, see if you can find some little peace in the release. One more time, let's take it up through Sphinx pose. Coming back through your forearms. See what you notice the second time around. Maybe you can bring a lighter quality through your heart. Just visualizing the breath go up and down. Follow your breath, long inhales and exhales, just a couple more rounds. Take a big breath in. Slowly release down for your breath out. Opposite ear, rest down. Feel your spine long on the mat. Now we're going to press up through tabletop, hands and knees, moving nice and slow. And eventually finding your way to downward facing dog, hip up and back. And from your down dog, lift your right leg as you breathe in. And bring your right shin forward towards the top of your mat, setting up half pigeon pose. So we're trying to guide our right shin somewhere towards the top. It doesn't have to be parallel. Just see if you can guide it that way. And your left leg is going to extend long behind you. If you notice your right hip is just way lifted up in space, it's a great place to place a block underneath, allowing your hips to be higher, which will allow an easier forward fold. Also, if the back leg doesn't feel good long, you can always bend it at 90 degrees, which can allow for an easier fold as well. So however you have this set up, just gently fold down over your right leg. Being mindful when to stop, listen to your body. We're trying to focus on opening the outside of the right hip, the right glute. Just using some gravity to help work its way down. Sometimes stillness can be the toughest posture. Our minds can race. We can just think the worst things, the worst case scenario. So if that tends to come up, just see if you can let it pass. Just be grateful for this time to work through whatever comes to mind. That's 7 rounds of deep breath remaining here. Seeing if you can maybe find a little release on the exhales. Now, nice and slowly, start to press your way up. Taking some deep breaths along the way, and just bring your back leg in front of you. So your left leg is going to be long in front of you. And just bring the sole of your right foot to the inside of your left thigh. And from here, if you notice if your spine is kind of hunching, see if you can press the tailbone down, sit tall, and extend both arms up. Trying to create a strong L shape. And from here, take a big breath in. And as you exhale, start to fold over your left leg as if you were trying to reach for your left pinky toe. You can rest your hands on your leg, your shin, your ankle, or if you can grab your feet, you can use that as a bind to gently fold down. Just try to ease into this, feeling into the back side of your left leg and lower back. Take some nice deep breaths. Think about lengthening your spine as you inhale, and then maybe exploring the depth of the pose on your exhale. Three more deep breaths. And taking your time, slowly release back up from the fold. Just simply cross your ankles, make your way through downward facing dog one more time. Use this down dog as a release. You can pedal again through your legs. Let your spine be long, release through your neck. And from here, lift your left leg as you take a breath in. Half pigeon on the left as you breathe out. Take your time in setting this up. Great place, like I mentioned, for a block under the left hip. If this is hard, putting your hips toward the ground. So find that seat that feels right for you here. And whenever you're ready, just start to fold over the left leg, setting up half pigeon. Sometimes hip openers can be very frustrating, and when that happens, just see if you can draw back into your breath again. Just maybe find some gratitude for all the ways you can move your body. This can be a luxury we take for granted, something a lot of people just don't have. A few more deep breaths here as you settle in. Then moving nice and slowly, begin to press your way up, bringing that right leg in front of you. Just take your time setting up this single leg fold. Extend the right leg long, sole the left foot to the inside of your right leg. And from here, just extend up high, bringing the ribs in, feeling strong in this L shape, arms extended. Big breath in, forward fold as you breathe out. Trying not to force your way down, just letting gravity work its magic here. Breathing into the backside of your right leg. See how long you can make your breath this round. Now take your time slowly releasing from the fold. And from here, plant both feet down in front of you. Just take your hands, place them slightly behind your hips. Fingers also face the top of your mat. You're going to press your hands and feet down. Try to lift your hips up. Pressing your hips toward the ceiling. Root down through your hands and feet, reversing all the folds. Open your heart up. 3 deep breaths. Take a big breath in. Through your mouth, release it out. Slowly lower your hips to the mat and find your way to your back. And from your back, you have a couple options. You can either just set up for a Savasana. This just means, sorry about that. This just means your most comfortable position where you can feel your back body on the mat. If putting your soles of your feet together for Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly, if that feels better, you can bring the soles of your feet together if you'd like. So whether you have them long or extend or folded in, just find a position that feels good to you. A place where you can view yourself in stillness. Let your eyes rest down. And maybe coming back to your intention. Maybe start to reflect on what's real in your life. Let the noise dissipate and come back to what you know makes you feel alive. Savasana. Staying where you are with your eyes closed, just start to slowly come back to your body. Just scanning from head to toe. Just notice how you feel. Notice the energy of the room around you. And if you found a moment of peace in Shavasana, just know you always have that with you. I hope this practice not only makes you feel better in your own body, but it allows you the space just to get away from all the busyness. A space where you have time to reflect on what's real to you. Only you know the answer to that. In a world full of uncertainty and doubt, a lot of that has always hit me really hard. I've never known if I'm going to make it as a career, what I'm going to be doing the next week. And those negative thoughts can really weigh down on you, not knowing what's real to you. And when that happens, I always come back to what I know. And that's family, friends, community, And not just looking out for each other, but taking care of our bodies and our minds. Gently press your way up to a seat, keeping your eyes closed. Allow yourself to sit tall, facing the front of the room. And with all the doubt and uncertainty that I mentioned that constantly races through my mind, there's one thing I know for sure, is that who I want to start a family with. And I've never had a doubt about that. I think I've rehearsed this in my mind for years, and it certainly isn't easy right now. I'm very grateful to be surrounded by so many people that care about us together, not just me. Bree Lyle, will you marry me? So the reason this took so long was that you told me how much family means to you, and you mentioned your grandma so much and how you miss her. So I was able to get these diamonds from your grandma and from your mom, which she left for you. And so now you get to carry it around you with this ring. So I hope you always have a piece of them you can carry with you when times get tough. And this is for you. Up here with me. Oh, you can have a seat. Oh man, it was so much coordinating, trying to get everyone here on the same night, so thank you so much for being a part of this. If you're watching at home, thank you so much. Not as much as them, but I thank you too, yeah.
I thought it was really special you guys all came just so we could film a yoga class.
Y'all are worth it.
So please just return to a seat. Bring your hands to prayer. We didn't end the class yet. Oh, man. Oh, man, it means so much to have you all here. I think as we get older, we find that the most valuable thing is time. And thank you so much for sharing this time with me tonight at a very special night for both of us. A gentle bow of the head forward. Namaste.
Yeah, brother.
Thank you.
Good job, man.